everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast. I think, too, we're going to have a really fun chat today. You know, once in a while, someone will ask me, how do I find my guests? Because some of my guests are on the other side of the world. And it turns out that I'm just a little bit of a stalker. Well, I mean, what it is more like I go on Reels and I look around and I see who's there. And so one day I was scrolling my Reels and I found our guest today, and she made a self-made, well, I couldn't even tell it was self-made. Actually, to be honest, I couldn't tell because it was so high quality, but it was a silk, aka Cindy Moon, aka the Asian girl version of Peter Parker. And her reel caught my eye, and I was like, hey, you know, I had to find out more about this person. And so I dug a little deeper into Estelle's profile, and I found out that she's a singer, songwriter, dancer, actor, former J-pop group member. And that's just a few things. We may even find out more things about her today, but I knew I wanted to talk with her. So we reached out and she got back. So please welcome, calling in from Singapore, Estelle Fly. What's up, Estelle?
What's up? I'm good. I hope you, and thank you so much for taking the time, you know, to come in. Like the fact that you dug into like finding out what I did.
A little bit.
I'm still
a little
shook.
bit.
Yeah, kind of shook. Yeah.
All right, and I'm trying something new. I'm greeting my guests in the Asian way. So, Estelle, have you eaten yet?
Yes, I in Singapore we say we makan already. We've already eaten. Just before this, I was like eating up my bihun. I was like,
nice,
okay,
nice. No, I like interviewing guests on a full stomach. I don't want you thinking about your next meal. You know, I'm glad that you ate, so that's good.
Yeah. It was. I almost did, but I was just like, oh, I think I'm gonna feel the hunger later. So I just quickly had a
Squeeze
bite.
it in, yeah.
Like,
and what'd you say you had? You had
bihun.
bihun. What is?
Yeah, it's like thin white noodles, like vermicelli. We call it vermicelli here. So it's like really thin white noodles. The one I had was in soup. So it's like bihun soup. We call it bihun soup.
Nice. Yeah. No, I've never been to Singapore, but one of my dream places to go, I think, is Singapore, and mostly because of the food.
Oh yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think the only thing Singapore is really, really proud of is their food. I think it's not too bad. I think it's a really good mix of everything.
Yeah.
A lot of Asian food, a lot of like Western and then Japanese, Korean. So you can kind of take your pick.
Yeah. It's also kind of just based on my search around it, it's also one of those Instagrammable countries, right? Like a lot of places are built really to look good. I don't know. Yeah, no?
Is it? Maybe it's maybe because I live here.
Yeah.
So everything kind of looks the same to me now. If I go to like America, everything looks like inspiration,
really?
Period. Like if I go, I don't want to take a photo because I'll be like, oh my God, the way the sun hits that building, the architecture is like historical, you know, and it's like,
that's true.
You guys are kind of living in history, sort of, but everything's just kind of still the same buildings, but you guys have modernized it and stuff like that. So yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
I don't know. Everyone always says, "Oh, Singapore's so clean and so beautiful."
Oh yeah, it is.
And the gardens and the architecture, but
yeah. We have lots of dustbins everywhere, so you're like, you know.
All right. So thanks for coming on our show. I did hear a little bit about your name, but I'm not entirely sure about Estelle Fly and how Estelle Fly came about. It was a little bit of a glitch, a little bit of a internet glitch that ended up with Estelle Fly. How did you get your name?
Okay, so long ago on Friends. Facebook. Facebook. The early days of Facebook. There was like a first name and a last name, and I think they had to approve your name before it goes up live. I don't know if it's the same case now,
I don't know.
but it was back then. I haven't changed it in forever. So it was supposed to be. Okay, I don't know if you know the term fly kite. Have you heard of fly kite before?
Yeah.
Okay, so locally or in Asia, I think if you said fly kite, is basically telling someone to like F off. But I had no idea that was what it meant.
Okay.
But everyone was using it. So when I was a kid, I was just like, okay, you know, Estelle Fly Kite, you know, like, and then I put like Estelle Fly in the first name and then Kite in the last name. And I think Facebook picked up on that and they removed the kite. So it just became Estelle Fly. And then for the longest time, I was just like, everybody started calling me Estelle Fly, and I was just like, okay, like, sure.
Yeah.
It's a nice ring to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, when I found out what it meant, I was like, oh my God, thanks Facebook for saving me from social suicide.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
honestly, that would not be
That
cool.
wouldn't be
I thought it
good.
was cool. Yeah.
No, I like it though because I think you get all your usernames right. There's no other Estelle Flies out there.
I think so. Yeah. So I guess it worked out.
And actually,
Worked
I
out.
what I thought when I first saw it is we used to say like not me even like maybe even older than me like in the 70s or 80s
Mhm.
they say oh you're looking pretty fly.
Oh, like cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So in America, it's kind of a way of saying, "Oh, you're pretty fly," but we don't use that anymore. But I was like, "Oh, maybe that's
Yeah.
where I thought it was from at first, Estelle Fly." But okay, so Estelle
I
Fly guy.
wish. I
But
wish.
yeah, isn't that funny how you get stuck with these usernames from when you're like 13?
Yeah, dude, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's better than this, but back then there was like more cringier ones, like oh, Foxy Girl, oh, Silver, Quicksilver
Uh-huh.
underscore
Right,
1990,
right,
you know,
right,
that kind
right.
of crap.
Yeah,
So I think this is fine.
yeah,
This is really
it
fine.
works. It works. Can we dig into your roots a little bit?
Yeah,
Are
sure.
you Chinese or what's your not your nationality, your ethnicity?
Ethnicity. Okay, I know Cindy Moon's Korean. I'm just gonna put it out there. I know she's Korean. Some people tell me like she's Korean, she's not Chinese. But yeah, I am Chinese. Um, Singapore. My granddad's from China. He's directly from China. Mom's from Malaysia.
Okay.
And yeah, but at the end of the day, I think I'm still like Chinese, like mostly just Chinese. I
Yeah.
did those circle DNA thingies. So yeah, I am
Uh-huh.
very much Chinese.
What do you speak at home with your parents?
English.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom learned math in Malay, and my dad is just hopeless when it came to Chinese ever since he was a kid. He speaks Hokkien and my mom speaks Cantonese. But
Okay.
I'm horrid with like languages. I think God just went like, I think Estelle would be good at dancing and singing and anything arts. She should be decent. With languages, we just make her like completely stupid. Like she can't.
No, I feel that. I feel
Are
that.
you
No,
the
I can't.
same?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Chinese American, but I was born here. My parents were born here, so I've tried to learn Mandarin over the years just for fun. And
It's tough,
it's not going.
dude.
It's not going well. Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have a Chinese name? Did they tell you your Chinese name?
yeah. Well, I learned it later. I actually was in a Chinese class in college, and the
Ooh.
professor was like, "What's your Chinese name?" And I didn't know, so I had to go home, and my mom had to find it in some book because my grandpa gave me a Chinese name.
Oh yeah, the grandparents
So
usually do that because they don't want that part of the family to ever. So you don't want them
yeah.
to lose it, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and my parents aren't real good at Chinese either, so they probably couldn't even come up with a name. So
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah,
okay.
so I grew up all English, and then tried to learn just for fun, but yeah, it's no good.
That's tough, bruh. I feel your struggle, man. And I've learned it for 15 years and I still failed. Like I really tried. It's not easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but you know Japanese though, yeah, you learned a lot of Japanese,
I worked in Japan for 2 years. I
right?
sang in Japanese, but the thing
Uh
was,
huh.
when I was in Japan, they didn't provide us like a language teacher. A lot of the times we were learning on the job and
Mm.
seeing my history with Chinese, having learned it for 15 years every single day.
Uh
In
huh.
2 years, I did pick up a decent amount of Japanese. Like at some point when it came to interviews, I was able to kind of express
Huh.
myself, sorta. But then when I stopped, it's like it just went back to like, yeah. But I mean, I know the basic stuff, like, oh, thank you so much for supporting me. My name is so and so. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
little things, like a really, really basic stuff. But if you asked me to like, converse now, I would be like, sorry
Uh-huh,
again. Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you use it or lose it, right? If you,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Facts, facts. Yeah. For,
All right. So, were you like a musical kid when you were growing up? Did you do the piano and ballet, violin? What sorts of things did you do growing up?
the violin sounds super Asian. I have so many friends who do it.
Right?
Yeah, and the cello. Oh my God. But
Uh-huh.
piano. But for me, my mom started me with piano. And then she realized I had huge anxiety when it came to exams because
Recitals, yeah.
yeah, I know because when you practice every night with your folks and they're sitting next to you because you're a kid, right? It's just so much pressure, and I couldn't do the exams, but I did really well in the class because every single time I like played, the teacher would be like, "Everybody come and like watch." So I think if I continued, I would have been decent, but
Mm-hmm.
then I stopped, and then she was like, "Okay, maybe you could try ballet." So I did ballet, and I did it for a really long time, and I'm so glad she did because ballet
Mm.
is like kind of like the foundation to all the different
Yeah,
sorts of dance styles.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing ballet for about 7, 8 years, and I jumped a few grade, like a couple of grades. So like I did grade four, and then my teacher thought I was really good, so I skipped grade five, for example, that kind of
Uh-huh.
situation. So I was actually really good. And then I guess school happened. I had just a lot of commitments. I just couldn't
Mm.
keep up, so I had to leave, and then. But in the meantime, I was doing ballet, tap, street jazz. I was doing like a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, not so much piano, but a lot of not like music instruments, but mostly like dancing. Yeah, a lot of motor skills.
Was there a point where anything clicked where you're like, I could do this for a living, or I want to do this forever?
Uh, like I think yeah, I think because I grew up with Disney, I grew up with Hannah Montana,
Oh,
man. It's like the worst kind
uh-huh.
of values
Yeah.
to teach your kid. Like chase your dreams.
Sure,
You
sure.
are a superstar. Just go for it. Yeah, yeah, it was I was very much that. I was super taken by that kind
Yeah.
of dream. And then when the opportunity came for me to be in Japan, I was like, no questions asked. I dropped everything. Yeah, and that's the problem. It's like when you watch stuff from Disney, you just see like the good stuff, like the
Uh-huh.
exciting stuff, and then you
Yeah.
totally don't know about what goes behind the scenes. And back then, K-pop
Sure.
wasn't a thing, right? So people didn't
Yeah.
know. So yeah.
Yeah. So like Camp Rock and High School Musical or
Oh
those kind
yeah.
of things.
I mean, not so much on Camp Rock because it was not so much of Camp Rock. I think I was kind of a little bit older by then, but Hannah
Okay.
Montana
Okay.
was like a little bit like a
Yeah.
couple of years before that, and then I loved it, loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this Japanese label did auditions in Singapore, or you flew to Japan to audition?
So this is the interesting thing. So
Okay.
I loved anime, and I was at this convention, and then they had this thing called a maid cafe. And I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
I wanna work. I was like only like around 17 at the time. So I was like, I have to do it. And then at the cafe, they were like, oh, if you like to sing and dance, we can, and we can put you on the main stage so you can like get more people to come and check out the
Uh-huh.
cafe. And I was like, oh
Yeah,
my God,
yeah.
yeah, sure.
Wait,
Um,
this is in Japan or
no,
this
this is in
is
Singapore. So
okay,
it's like a
okay.
huge. Oh, if you're ever in Singapore, if you love anime, there's this huge Southeast Asian anime convention that happens every year until to this day. Okay, so anyway, back to
Hmm.
the story. So I said yes, and in this festival, there are many artists that come down for a concert that happens at night, but in the day
Uh
they have like panels and like
yeah.
fan meets kind of situation.
Right, right.
And all the managers and all of them would be in waiting rooms there behind the stage. And I did a dance, and then I did a singing thing on my own. So the dance was with a
Hmm.
few girls, and then I sang on my own. And the stage, on the stage, I was like holding a piece of paper, reading off the lyrics. It was crazy because it's like a huge convention hall, and it's just this huge
Uh-huh.
stage. And I was standing on the stage with a piece of paper and a mic. But
Uh-huh.
apparently that did it because apparently I did really well. And when I
Uh-huh.
got off the stage, they're like, when I came out of the stage, backstage, and then everybody was like clapping. And I think a couple of managers heard. So this one particular manager was like, do you like to sing? Do you want to dance? Because we're actually kind of putting a girl group together. So it's kind of like scouting. But at the time, I was just like, it didn't seem really serious. It was just like a
Uh-huh.
conversation, and then it never happened again. And then the following year, I was back at the Mate Cafe because it's an annual thing, and they liked me so much they brought me back. And the same manager was there, so he was like, "You know what? We're actually really doing a girl group. I would like to audition you." And then yeah, it happened. It just happened like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And so it's if I get the times right. So this is kind of like your senior year in high school, then.
I would guess so. I was 18 at the time. 17
Okay.
coming on 18. Yeah. So,
Uh,
yeah, correct.
And your parents were like, "Sure, this sounds great. Go to Japan, become an
I
idol."
mean, looking back now, I don't know if I would let my kid do it, but it was almost like that. I told them that this is what I really want to do. This is like my dream, and this is like what I want to pursue. And they did like tons of background checks because I was really young, right, at the time.
Yeah,
I
really
mean,
young.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would totally understand why they did. But then the company is huge. It's like one of the biggest um, artist companies in Japan. It's huge, yeah.
Hmm.
So they were like, okay, I guess it's fine because they're one of like the big threes in like Japan, like the kind of
Yeah. Okay.
situation. So they were like, okay, but we'll have to meet your manager and everything, just to be sure. And it went really well. Yeah, it went really, really well. And
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, and they were just like, okay, sure. Yeah.
So we're talking about CA, which stands for Southeast Asian Anime,
Anime.
which is a girl group.
Mhm.
What year is this? 2011, around there?
Holy crap, that was like 12 years ago. Holy.
So it's around that time, and this if you dig deep on YouTube,
Yeah, what did
you can find a couple videos. You can find a couple videos. And so it was you, it was Estelle Fly, and like three other girls.
Yeah.
And you guys were doing kind of, was it anime type songs?
Yes, we call it Ani song. So it's like anime songs, but Ani, and song. So it's Ani songs.
Hmm.
So it's like really like a genre in Japan.
Yeah.
一緒にいて分かり合えた胸の奥そっと奇跡が生まれた嵐の夜に
And so what was this like? So this was it like living the dream, or was it a ton of hard work, or what was it like becoming a J-pop idol?
It was definitely both, but it was like a huge culture shock. And I think looking back now,
Mm.
you could really see how sheltered I was as a kid. Like, I wasn't like you have to have like this sense of like everyone who's there to make this happen for you. You have to hold them at the highest regard because they are the ones believing in
Mhm.
you and pushing you. And when I was like 18, I didn't understand that at the beginning. It was just really like, oh, I'm just like a trainee, and I had
Mhm.
to learn a lot of things the hard way. And it's like core values that stick with me to this day. And I'm really glad that I went through that. So although it was like living the dream, I really got to go on a stage and sing with tons of famous people and like yeah, a stadium of 20,000 people. I'll never forget it. It
Wow.
was beautiful. And in Japan, they have like a light stick
Right.
culture. I know K-pop has it now, but like they have that like since
Yeah.
forever. So it was beautiful. But at the same time, it was really, really hard work. I've learned to be very, I guess, humble. It really, really humbled me as a person.
Mhm.
And there were days where we would like practice in the studio for the entire day from like 10 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. And then
Oh wow.
and they would turn the air conditioner off. So it's like super duper hot. Like you can't, it's stuffy, it's super stuffy, but they want you to do it because it's like stamina. It's like building your stamina because when you're on stage,
Uh-huh.
when you perform,
It's hot.
yeah,
Yeah.
during summer with the lights and everything, it gets insanely hot. So
Mm.
they were like, it's good training. And on days where I would cry, and when I cried, they would not have it because they're like, you don't get to give up because your other members are not giving up. So since you
wow.
did, you're gonna sit here and you're just gonna watch them continue to try, and you're just sitting here giving up. And they will
Wow.
purposely make you sit down for like because you're so guilty, you want to get up and continue. They're like, no, you can't. You're already given up. So you sit here, sit here. Yeah.
You gotta own it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Uh,
it was like, yeah, it was
yeah.
tough for sure. But looking back, if I were to do it all over again, I would still have done it anyway. I thought it
Yeah.
was really an experience that I would never forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw another video you made about how, when you're in a girl group, you gotta watch your weight. You gotta always look
Yeah.
as, like a waif, 45 kilograms and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true because I'm not sure. I think in America everyone's a lot more accepting of like, just being your authentic self. I think maybe times have changed too. Like now, but back then, like the beauty standards, especially for Asia, it has always been fair, tall, skinny, small
Hmm.
face, always
Yeah.
bright and chirpy. And in a group you have like different roles to play, right? Like in a K-pop group, you have the maknae, you have the. So in our group it was a little bit different. It was like I was the sporty one, which is weird because I've
Mhm.
never played sports in my life. Never. I cannot. If your life depended on the way I was playing, I'll be like, I'm so sorry, bro. I can't save you. But yeah. So there was like the sporty one, there was like the pretty one, there was like the cute one, and there was like the center. So
Uh-huh.
I was the sporty one, and I was only 18, 19, coming 19. And when you're at that age, it's like puberty, right? Your weight is gonna be crazy, and no matter what you do,
Yeah.
it's just not gonna change that drastically, So it was tough. Like, I don't think they purposefully tried to compare me, but they would just say that she's the pretty one. Your role is to be the singer, the one that dances and sings, the active one. So this is your image. You're supposed to look this way. Or
Wow.
but then when and then there'll be moments where they give me costumes and then they're wearing skirts and I'm wearing a short because I'm sporty, but because I'm a bit on the at the time like baby fats, I had like tons of that. So it's like
Yeah, yeah.
they will be like, when you're posing for shoots, they're like, you should move a little. And or they're like, never mind, in post, we'll fix that in post. So it's like, as a kid, when you hear that, it's just like,
Yeah.
uh, okay, you feel
Yeah.
helpless, and it sticks with you.
Sure.
It really sticks with you until you grow. It's like an impressionable age. But
Of
yeah,
course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all of us deal with, how we look when we're 18, and
yeah,
you want to be whatever
yeah,
what you think, but yeah, when you have 220,000 people looking at you, it's a lot
yeah,
different.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. So
So you did this for about 3 or 4 years, or
no,
how long did you?
2.5 years. I actually intended
Okay.
to stay, but I think two of my members wanted to leave, and my manager. This was the thing that scared the shit out of me. He was like, we're gonna recruit more girls. It's gonna be a 7 group member
Uh,
team, and because you have the most experience in singing and dancing, we'll need you to lead the rest of the newbies. And I just went like, oh my god, I can't because I'm the youngest
uh-huh.
in the group. And
Uh-huh.
if you get more members who are younger, that's fine. But I thought 5 new girls would have been super
Wow.
daunting. Like the pressure was just like, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can live up to that kind of expectation.
Yeah.
So after the 2 years, I was like, I don't think I can do it.
Hmm.
I'm so
Hmm.
sorry. Yeah.
So you went back home.
Yeah, I studied. Yeah, because I didn't have like a diploma at the time. So I was just like, I think I need a plan B in case of
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So plan B was to go back to Singapore,
Yeah.
but was the fire still in your belly that you wanted to be a performer? Like what was your thinking?
Oh.
When you left CA or when you left Japan to come back,
Mhm.
you were like, I'm just gonna get a college degree and go work in an office, or what was the plan?
Well, it was very much that at this because when I was fresh out of it, I was in such a bad mental space because at the time I didn't have many friends or friends who understood what I was going through.
Sure.
And I didn't want to offload. It was just like I felt like I failed. I could have, if I just stayed on, I didn't have a lot of friends. My confidence was non-existent. I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna go back to studying. I don't think I wanna perform anymore. Yeah, I just needed a break, you know. So I studied for about a year and a half. Yeah, I finished the diploma in like a year and a half. And then I moved on to study something else. So I did mass comm and I did psychology. So I wanted to do like a double degree kind of situation. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was studying for like 3 years in total because of that. But in between, I was still like going for dance stuff. Like I was dancing at like those. It's really weird. I don't know if they have it in America, but in Singapore back then, it was like a small K-pop community that was slowly building. And what they
Hmm.
did was they would just have a time where you can like go onto a dance floor. They'll just play random music in a mall, and anyone can just dance. It's called
Huh.
like random dance right now or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, but back then we did that, and I was just dancing, and I was just so happy doing it because no one knew who I was. I had no friends. I had no one to show for. I just went there to have a good time,
Yeah.
and I left. And then
Yeah.
there was the as far as performing went for me, and yeah, it was only later when I started doing YouTube again because of work. I actually signed on to like some company to do like content creation. That was when I slowly realized that, okay, actually, I don't mind doing my own thing where I don't have people telling me what I should sing, how I should look, or how I should be. But that opened like a whole can of worms for another problem. But I won't dig into that right now. But yeah, it was then when I realized maybe I should do something solo. But that was like definitely like 4 years down the road. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So it was just kind of for fun, just dancing on the weekends at the
Yeah,
mall,
yeah, yeah. But mentally, I was
singing
not
just
in a
for
great place.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely not
Yeah, yeah.
immediately.
Okay, so then several years later, it looks like you started to do some solo songs with
Yeah.
the Japanese label again, or which label were you with? You
Okay, I was an indie artist, so yeah,
okay?
I was on my own, and I I had a friend who had a boyfriend who he's not her husband right now anyway. But yeah, at the time he was producing music, and then I was like, I love your stuff. Do you have any tracks that you would love to have a vocalist on? And then he was like, yeah, you can take this track. If you like this track, you can take it. And if you want to sing with it, yeah, you can have it. And I was just like, are you sure? He's like,
Huh.
yeah, yeah, just it's fine, just have it. And I was like, okay. I paid him a thank you token, and then I just went ahead and recorded it and released it on my own. The learning curve was like that. I was just like,
Uh-huh,
I had
uh-huh.
no idea. And there are a lot of like stuff on the internet now, like who does like distribution for indie artists. So I did that. So yes, the producer was from Japan, but I did all the recording and everything in Singapore.
Uh-huh.
And then like I did a music video, and yeah, it was really just for fun. And I thought, yeah, I might as well just put myself out there. I got nothing, like nothing to lose. No one knows who I am really in
Yeah.
Singapore, which is really weird. Like I could go to Japan and I'll do idol work, and I come back to Singapore and no one cares because it's just a Singapore thing. Like no one just really cares about anything until you have succeeded. Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
so it's like, yeah, I felt like I had nothing to lose, and yeah.
So it looks like you released a single in English 2018. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Oh man, that was like 5 years ago. Holy crap.
Is
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
blue.
time is.
Yeah,
It doesn't
blue.
seem like that long ago, 2018 in my head, but yeah, that was a little while ago.
Yeah.
And so you have about 5 or 6 tracks on Spotify that I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I have a few more with like collaborations with other people. Like I
Uh
feature on
huh.
their tracks, but stuff that's just solely me. Yeah, I think it's like yeah, 5, 6 songs.
What's your favorite track? I have a favorite track, but what's your favorite track out of this?
Um, I mean, I really like Love Like This, but a lot of people love that track. Like when I perform it, people like it the most. So, yeah, I would think Love Like This, but I sing it so often to the point where it's just like, ugh. But I still like the song. It's still my favorite,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's like, ugh.
Huh.
Yeah. How about yours? What's yours?
My favorite is Heavy.
I have a lot of people tell me that. I wrote that during COVID, and it was like
Yeah.
completely on my own. Yeah, and I was just it was a COVID song. It's a COVID baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
I did it during COVID. But I'm glad you like it. I kind of like that song too. It's like good vibes.
Can we listen to a couple?
Oh, you can listen to Heavy if you like.
All right.
Sure,
You
sure.
walk us. Can you walk us through? No, did you write these or did someone else write these?
I wrote this, but the track I
Okay.
had like a producer write the track, and then I did everything else. I did the top line, I did the lyrics. So yeah, the rest is me.
All right. So we're going to listen to Heavy by Estelle Fly.
This is so weird for me.
No, I like to break it down with the musician. I think it's cool.
Space in between. Lose it. Shackles on my wrist. Break it. Kiss me just one time, or you know you wanna cross the line. H-E-A-V-Y, it feels so good. I don't know why. It's getting heavy. This feeling's heavy, heavy. H-E-A-V-Y, you got me wishing you were mine. Yeah, it's getting heavy. This feeling's heavy, heavy.
All right. So what was going through your mind when you're writing this song?
Okay, so when I first wrote the song, at the time I loved Ariana and I wanted like a song that was very much like that. So I was like going through a library of like different songs. So I would go like basically the way I write, because I can't write the track, I would go onto sites with like beats and stuff, and I'll find one that sticks with me, and then I'll write with that beat, and then I'll send it to my producer, and then he'll write a whole new different thing to suit the top line. But at the time, because it was during COVID, I wanted to, it felt like everything was kind of closed off, and then it was just like, I miss the feeling where you can kind of feel that intimacy with the person. But at the same time, I knew a lot of people who listened to me. A lot of them were like of the younger generation, like a bit younger. So I was just like, okay, it can't get too nasty. It has to be kind of like a little bit more innocent. But it's like, which is why, like, actually, when I wrote Shekels on my wrist, I almost wanted to change it because I was just like, this feels so BDSM. I think my parents listened to all of my music. I was just like, they're going to question me after this. And I thought I was going to change it, but I never went about it. I just thought it'll be nice because it's just like, some adults can hear it, some kids can enjoy it. I don't know. So I was just like, yeah, it's kind of like you want to do something and then you can't. It's like all these things holding back. But sometimes when you're in that space of like tension, you kind of enjoy that feeling of tension. It's like the exciting bit, you know? So there's like just so many of these heavy feelings. And I was just like really inspired. I just wanted to write. I wrote this song in like, I think majority of it, I wrote like 80% of it in like one sitting in like maybe 3 hours. I wrote it because it just felt, it was just, it felt like something for me to do in COVID. At the same time, I just wanted to get all of this out. Actually now looking back, when I was listening to the lyrics, I was just like, damn girl, you like feeling stuff sort of way. That's pretty much it for Heavy. There's I don't think anyone knows about this, but with Heavy, I wanted, because it's COVID, right? We couldn't do any shoots or anything. I wanted to do like a Sims music video, using the Sims to make a music video. But it was hard. Like it's a whole different skill set altogether. Yeah. But I thought it would have been so cool because no one has really done that before. But it didn't work out in the end because it was just hard. It was just way too hard.
It's technical.
It is very technical. So
I've heard of people actually, professional musicians filming videos in their house and on their phone, and it turned into a video. Yeah,
I did one in the end. It was like on the bed. It was so weird. My mom came in, and then it was like a self-made tripod with a slider. I swear to God, if that slider fell on my face, I would be dead because it's like a huge metal thing. And it was just like rubber bands, like, and then my camera, and then it was just me on the bed. And when my mom came in, she's like, run. I was just like, get out. But it worked out. It's like awesome. It's a Spotify canvas now, and I think it worked out.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Mm-hmm. All right, you want to do one more?
I mean, if we could, up to you. I'm fine with anything. I'm fine. Yeah.
Let's do Love Like This, since you say that's people's favorite.
Yeah. Kind of K-poppy.
Yeah. Yeah, this sounds very. I don't know if there's an American sound, but it sounds like it could be an American track.
Yeah. There were like a few influences. I think at the time the producer pulled up like a BB Rexa song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then there was like a K-pop song. So it's like, yeah, there were like BB Rexa references and influences at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's Moombahton. Yeah, that's the genre, Moombahton. So it's like an American genre. Yeah.
Yeah, with a little Latin. Yeah.
Do
you want to do more? Are you still looking to write some more and perform some more?
Music wise, because in Singapore, it's like without a label, everything is like hella expensive. Like,
yeah,
a music video alone, it's like, and then when it comes to, you have to pay the producer, you need to pay like a whole bunch of people. It's just, you need a lot of money. And then right now it's like I kind of need to earn the money, so I'm like doing like more acting stuff, more like we call KOLs in Singapore like influencers, like influencer kind of situation now in Singapore. So I'm kind of focusing on the artist side of things. So music wise, it's kind of taken a back seat because I just need money for that. But
it's really hard to make money too. Like, like
bruh.
Spotify, all the streaming services don't pay anything.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's like only gigs and stuff, which I think they're definitely gigs, but because a lot of my performance is very much like dancing and singing, and dancing means I need backup dancers, and whenever you pay me an amount, I would want to pay my dancers because I myself am a dancer and I would never want to underpay my dancers. So it's like the fee gets really split up.
Right.
It's just really, really tough to earn.
Really tough.
Yeah. But I mean, if there's a chance where I get to have like a capital that's been so generous, so like a generous charitable person comes into my life. It's like, here's the amount of money you can do to do music. I'll be like, sure.
So you've been doing a little more television, YouTube, and I saw you doing some hosting. You do a little MC hosting kind of gigs.
Yes. Usually when I do hosting stuff, it's like for anime stuff. Yeah, for anime or games, because that's kind of like my roots. And honestly speaking, the reason why I also hopped on it, because the bosses who made any of this happen for me, like for CA and everything, they're like friends of mine now, and when they needed a host, I was like, okay, like sure, I'll hop onto that. But
I even saw you doing some martial arts training, and you got invited by Netflix to do Extraction 2 videos. That was fun.
Yes, it was really, really fun. I love stunts. I love because it's like dancing, except you get to look like a badass. Love it. And I'm actually taking real choreography classes now because I really, really want to get into that. And I'm manifesting myself into a movie in America. I'm gonna work so hard. I could be an old lady. I don't care. I could be a fighting old lady. I don't care. But I just thought that it would be great. It might increase my chances in getting to like an action movie. You never know. It'd be cool. Yeah.
And you do an American accent, right? I've heard you do an American accent.
Yeah. Working on it. Because a lot of the auditions now are like in American accents, which is really hard. Like I'm practicing. I have to practice. If not, it's
So you're Cindy Moon. That's your American accent?
Yeah, I guess so. That's me trying to have an American accent, like based off what I watch on TV.
It sounded good to me.
Oh, sweet. Perfect. But
So your content creation is pretty next level. Like I think I can tell you put some time into it. You're not just whipping these things out. You're putting some effort into these.
Yeah, bruh. But I kind of get really obsessive in things that I really, really care about. So if you watch like my other stuff, I don't care, man. I'm like doing like basic like trendy stuff on TikTok that no one ever gives a crap about. But like I love the Spider-Verse, and I was like, it didn't even come from a point where, oh man, Cindy's not gonna be in the in Beyond the Spider-Verse, because to be honest, I feel like she wouldn't really serve this particular narrative very well. So I wouldn't. Yeah, it's fine if she's not in it. But it was like no one has ever done it in a way where it's not just a cosplay video. I wanted it to be like, I love this, and I want people from this, like in the Spider-Verse, like people who are fans of the Spider-Verse, to appreciate this too. So like I read a bunch of her comics and I really enjoyed it. And I was just like, wouldn't it be cool to reenact scenes from the comic books? Because a lot of the stuff you see on the MCU, it's like, okay, we've known what's happened in the comics, but for the sake of the movie, we kind of have to like mish and mash things up to see what works for the movie. I don't have to do that on TikTok because it's just really short snippets. It's just like, I'll take this one, I'll just take that one. And yeah, it just became a thing. Like I enjoyed it so much, so much. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there. I love it though.
Yeah, they're really good. Like everyone out there, you should go to Estelle Fly's Instagram and click on her reels. And there's about 9 or 10 of them now. You got on a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, I'm taking a break now because people like my friends are starting to think like, what are you doing? Like, are you like, what are you trying to do? I'm just like, dude, I'm just obsessed right now. Just ignore me. I'll be done in a while. But it's weird because like people who like followed me, like tons of people follow me now for Cindy Moon Silk content. So I'm just like, oh my God, how am I gonna go from here now? But it's kind of that.
Yeah, go check them out. They're really fun. I mean, and you know, it manifesting, right? Just throw it out there.
I know.
You never know.
I guess so. Like I think because I know how it works in terms of like acting and like how to get into an MCU thing. I know it's impossible. It's almost impossible for me to be scouted just like that. I know. But it's, it's like delusional. I'm delusional, man, at this point. But like if people think like if they tag Marvel enough, I don't know what it would bring me. I definitely not Marvel, but in my hopes is like maybe some director can see that I can do certain things. It doesn't have to be an MCU thing. But in the meantime, just like, enjoying it while it lasts, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looks like it's real fun. So everyone should go follow Estelle out there. Just she does K-pop videos. She does mostly dance that I've seen on your Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
But real fun. And so that's still just mostly for fun, the dancing. And well, actually, you were in a musical. Yeah, you were in a.
Yeah, I finished it. It wrapped like last month. Was it last month? Oh my God, it's like 2 months ago almost. Oh Jesus Christ. Yeah, a month and a half ago it wrapped. It was great.
So you're still doing some stuff. You're on stage still. You're still still out there.
At the beginning of the year, I was doing a show, like a short local series. I wrapped that in like 2 months, and then I went straight into the musical, which was like 2 months as well. So I was like crazy busy for 4 months. And musical theater was tough, but it was great. It became great towards the end. It was great at the end. Yeah. Kind of sad that, when it started to feel great, it was like at the end already. I was like, oh. But so I did that.
Yeah, I'm following you, man. I'm expecting big things for 2023, 2024.
No, don't do that to an Asian person. It's like pressure. Oh my God. Oh.
No, if it happens, it happens, and I'll be happy about it. I'll be happy about it.
Thank you.
All right, so everyone go follow Estelle. You have answered our tough questions. Are you ready for our lightning round?
Oh God, yeah, sure.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Let's see, so you were in the J-pop idol group, but who's your favorite idol right now? Either Korean, J-pop, or anywhere?
BB. I love BB. She's under 80 and Rising now, I think. I love BB.
Yeah. Did you see her interview with Youngji? She does that YouTube.
Oh my God, Jesus. That's like, that combination is chaos. It's just chaos energy. Yeah.
I like her too. Yeah, she's very real. She seems... she seems different, and she's a K-pop star, of course, but she seems a little different.
Yeah.
Which I think is very cool. Very cool. And she speaks great English too. I'd love to, BB, come on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, do it. I mean, if she was ever keen, for sure. Yeah.
I know. All right, cool. What was the last song you listened to on your playlist?
Oh, Kiss of Life is like a new song. It's like a K-pop
That brand
song.
new, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're young, right? They're in their teens.
Oh no! I think they're 18 and up. I know it sounds, but I mean in Korea now it's like kids at 15 are
Okay, so they're not super young.
Yeah, they're not super young.
But they're brand new though. They just debuted. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that song slaps. All right, favorite Singaporean street food?
Ooh, bro, this is tough. Street food? I don't know if chicken rice counts as street food. It's like comfort food.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a go-to. It's great.
Yeah.
The rice is great. Oh my god.
Nah, I think that's one thing I definitely want to have is the
you need to have it. Yeah, Hainanese.
Chicken,
yeah. It's good. Oh my god.
All right, cool. All right, and I like to do this where I give you a choice of two things.
Okay.
One of them you can have, and then the other one you don't get to have for a year.
Oh, just a year? That's okay. Okay.
All right, maybe 2 years. We'll make it tougher for you.
Oh no! Okay, no.
All right, singing or dancing. You can either sing for you keep singing or keep dancing, but you can't do the other one for 2 years.
Oh, dancing.
Really?
I love singing, but it's just too much lore and trauma there, man. Not trauma, lore.
You got to be moving. You got to move. All right. How about anime or video games?
Oh, video games. I'll pick video
Really?
games. Yeah.
What are you playing these days?
Oh, I'm super busy though. I haven't been able to play as much, but the last game I played was like Hogwarts Legacy, but I got into the musical, so I couldn't. But I know the Spider-Man game's coming up. I really, really want to play that one. Cyberpunk's expansion's coming up. I really want to play that one. So video games, period.
All right. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. All right. Now this one's gonna hurt your soul a little bit. Okay. Rice or noodles?
Oh, noodles.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Noodles. I love noodles. I love it so much.
Yeah. All right. No, I can't complain either way. If you went with rice, that'd be fine. You went with noodles.
Yeah, but there's like
that'd be tough.
Yeah. Wait. There's no fried rice though. I love my fried rice. Oh no, chicken rice.
Yeah, but right.
Dude, with noodles, you could do so much with noodles because I don't like porridge. I like congee, but I don't like.
Sure.
Oh, dude. No. I went to noodles already. I can't back.
Yeah, no turning back.
So it's like.
All right. Hey, you threw in some Singlish. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Other than Silk, who's your favorite superhero?
Oh my God. This is so tough. Superhero?
Right? It could be an obscure one. If you know one from a comic book, you can throw out that one.
Oh, this is so tough. Okay, so I wouldn't say she's my favorite, but she's like the superhero that stuck with me all these years. Yeah, all these years. If I get a chance to ever play her, that would be super sick. I even considered doing her stuff for TikTok. She's from the X-Men. Her name is Surge. She's from the new generation X-Men. I think she's really cool. She's really chaotic, but she's really cool. I love her because I feel like she's not the stereotypical nice, I don't know. She's not like a goody two-shoes kind of hero. Yeah, she has like, she absorbs electricity, which is hella cool. And she's got blue hair. She's feisty. She came from a really rough background. And it's like one of those like rough background to like hero arc, but it's a bit like Wolverine where he's like angsty,
a little dark,
dark and angsty. But she's not like X-23 where she's like angry all the time. Like Surge becomes like a leader in certain things, and I really really like that. So yeah, if you guys don't know about her name is Surge. Just look her up. She's an X-Men. They don't write her in anything now, which is kind of sad because I think the X-Men's not. Like people don't really talk about it anymore. We'll wait for the MCU to do the X-Men, and then they'll be relevant again.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna take. Yeah, I mean, no one ever cared about Thor or
or like Guardians of the Galaxy for one. Like no one cared about Guardians of the Galaxy until they did a show or like a movie on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Surge. All right. Okay, yeah, good choice, good choice. And then we have a signature question where we ask people who their infatuation is. Infatuation is anyone in the Asian community who is living or deceased that you admire or that has influenced you. It could be someone you know, could be a stranger. So, Estelle Fly, who is your infatuation?
This is tough because I don't have a habit of like being super infatuated one person. It's kind of like the best things of like different people because yeah, that I take with me. But I'm gonna sound super boring, but I'm gonna say Michelle Yeoh simply because she's been in it for so long. And
Yeah.
my mom and Michelle Yeoh used to be from the same church and they went for the
Really?
same yeah, my mom is like friends with her brother. Yeah.
Okay.
In Malaysia. So it's like
Right.
it's this really small world, but it's like she's like light years away. But she's
Oh, yeah.
like she's amazing. I think she's really amazing. And I wish
Yeah.
if I could, which is why I said if I become an old lady, I'm not gonna be like Michelle Yeoh where I'll be an A-lister for sure. But
Right,
if I could just
right.
do something,
Do something. Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. It's because
Yeah.
if Michelle Yeoh can do it, I know that there is like a glimpse, a slither of hope that it could happen.
No,
And I love
I'm
that.
so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad that she's just blowing up bigger than she ever has before. And you know, I remember her. I went to Macau
Oh.
in like 1992, and I saw Super Cop 2 on the screen. Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh.
Oh.
And I was I'd never heard of her before, and I was blown away. And then just to see her for the last, what is that, 30 years?
Yeah.
Just, you know, she's obviously been a huge star in Asia forever.
Yeah.
But, you know, some Americans knew her from this or that. But, you know, starting with James Bond and then Crazy Rich Asians. And then,
Yes,
you know, like,
yes.
but then now she's at the top of her game. Academy Awards,
Yes.
TV shows galore. Yeah, so she's, great pick. Great pick.
She came a long ways. Like she just won a pageant and she just happened to know martial arts and then
Yeah.
she went it was like a huge long journey for her.
Long journey.
And she's from Southeast Asia. So it's not just like Asia, it's
Right.
like Southeast Asia and it's really rare that you hear anyone
Yeah.
come up from Southeast Asia who's like an Academy Award winner. So
Yeah.
she's amazing. Yeah, she's
Very
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, man, this has been really fun. Thanks for coming
Yes.
on with us.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for your time, Curtis. Really, really, I appreciate it. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm talking so much.
No, that's the point of this thing,
Yeah,
man.
no, but I feel like I should be asking you stuff too. Or like, I
No,
don't-
people don't want to talk to me. They
No.
they hear me every week. They don't need to hear me. You're the guest. You're the guest today.
Oh, but thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. So yeah, hey, if you ever come out to California, maybe get an audition or something, let me know. I mean, I'm up in San Francisco, so a little bit away from LA, but if you're ever in San Francisco, let me know.
I love San Francisco, so for sure. I would definitely hit you up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we won't do any food that you can get over there. We'll find something like maybe some good Mexican food,
I
or
was
maybe
gonna
some.
say, bring me to eat Mexican food. Holy shit! I have
Yeah.
like kind of like a little bit of it in Singapore. I'm like, there's no way that America's is at this standard. It's gonna be like way better.
Yeah, whenever I was in Asia, that was the thing I missed the most. Was like a good burrito or some tacos or some street tacos or something.
Yo, yes, for sure. Oh my God, please bring me to eat those street food. I love street food. Please bring me to eat.
All right, yeah, no problem. So yeah, definitely talk to me when you get over here.
Sure.
And so everyone out there, go follow Estelle. You can listen to Estelle's music on Spotify. You should definitely go follow her on social media at Estelle Fly. What are your main ones? Instagram and TikTok? Those are the
Instagram, TikTok, both is Estelle Fly. They're the same.
yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
those
on
work.
Threads?
I am. Oh my God.
I know.
It's part of the game, bro. I don't hate the play. I hate the
Same.
game. I got no choice.
I joined it. You know, I thought I was pretty early, but I'm still like 55 million.
But hey, like everyone's gonna be on there for sure. So I mean,
guess,
you could be
yeah.
the first 50 million people. They could be
I
like,
guess, but I mean, I didn't even like Twitter, so I don't even know what I'm gonna do on.
I know,
Threads.
no, fact. I'm horrible on Twitter. I don't ever post anything on Twitter. So it's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do on Threads. Let's see how long I last here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. So everyone out there, you can follow us at Infatuasian Podcast at Facebook or Instagram or Threads, I guess, if you want to. Or you can send us an old-fashioned email at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And so just thanks again to Estelle for coming on, and everyone out there, thank you for listening to us talk about random things for an hour, but we're happy that you're here too. And so on behalf of Estelle and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.